leading the way with important local coverage. You're watching WISN 12 News at 10.
Breaking news, police officers attacked inside a Milwaukee police station, then chasing and shooting the gunman.
It sounded like a machine gun. Pop, 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 pop.
The attack days after a man died in custody at the same police station.
Chief, did this have anything to do with the death in custody earlier this week?
The chief's response. Right now, the battle for Ukraine's capital city is on. The fight Ukraine's president says could seal the country's fate. And the Hone Bridge lit up in blue and yellow.
Milwaukee standing in solidarity with Ukraine tonight. What the local Ukrainian community wants you to know about their country.
The sound of gunfire rings out at a train station in Ukraine as desperation to get out of the country intensifies. It has been another night of attacks from Russian forces. Minutes away, the civilians staying behind to fight.
But we start with the breaking news in Milwaukee today. A massive police scene after investigators say someone opened fire inside the District 5 police station. Officers chased and shot him. He is alive and in custody. Police Station 5 is at Vel Phillips and Locust. It's the same station where a man died in custody on Wednesday. Our Derek Rose is investigating if that case is connected in any way to today's shooting.
We start with Caroline Reinwald on what happened. And Caroline, we understand the gunfire did not hit anyone inside the police station.
Right. The chief says in this case, the only person shot was the shooter. And you can see here behind me, this scene is still active with police blocking off at least a 3 or 4 block radius around District 5. Milwaukee police surrounded the area of Vel Phillips and Locust outside Milwaukee Police Department District 5 after the chief says a 23-year-old Milwaukee man walked in just after 3 o'clock Friday afternoon and started shooting at officers as several community members were also inside. Did the suspect say anything at all to officers before firing the gun inside District 5?
I'm not aware, but again, like I said, it's still ongoing and fluid investigation.
Chief Jeffrey Norman says after the gunman fired several shots, an officer shot back. Norman says the gunman ran off with several officers chasing after him, eventually catching up on 6th Street off Locust, where they shot him several times.
Sounded like a machine gun. Pop, 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 and somebody firing back.
Medics took the gunman, who police say was the only one hit in the entire ordeal, to the hospital. They expect him to survive. If this happened inside, what does the police department look like right now inside?
Well, I will say this. There is a lot of destruction in regards to what happened. This is a very sensitive situation to have this type of incident take place inside of a police lobby. There is a lot of shaking up staff, so my heart is out to my staff.
Caroline, what's the status of the investigation?
Well, we have new information from the police department that 7 police officers were involved in this case. They have all been placed on administrative duty, which is routine in these cases, and it will be the West Dallas Police Department that leads this investigation, Patrick.
And Caroline Reinwald leading us off live at 10.
Derek Rose continues our coverage in studio. And Derek, this is the same police station where a man died in police custody earlier this week.
Yeah, Joyce, there has been a lot of attention on District 5, the police station in Milwaukee. Just this week, the 2 biggest cases were the shooting today and the death of Keyshawn Thomas, who died inside that same station on Wednesday. After being arrested during a traffic stop on an open warrant, Thomas sat inside a jail cell for about 15 hours before the chief says a booking officer noticed Thomas needing medical attention. Neither officers nor medics could save Thomas. Initially, as is protocol, 3 officers were placed on administrative leave. Then this afternoon, Chief Norman announced he suspended those 3 officers, citing what he described as concerns over the incident, as well as things the chief says need more explanation. We published those developments about the suspensions around 1:30 this afternoon. Then, about 90 minutes later, is when the chief says a gunman walked into that same District 5 station and opened fire.
Chief, did this have anything to do with the death in custody earlier this week?
So we're all aware that the incident happened recently in regards to what happened here at District Number 5. We're still looking into all angles of this. And as we already stated, we do have an outside agency who's conducting an investigation, being the lead investigators. So we're going to be working with them to figure out what happened.
When asked earlier about how Keyshawn Thomas died, the chief said the answer would have to come from the medical examiner. We're told that report is under a non-disclosure. At this point, Norman did say during the traffic stop, officers found drugs on Thomas and were unaware of any prior medical issues. The chief says officers going forward, Joyce, will now have to ask people they book whether they recently took any prescription meds or narcotics.
A change in protocol. Derek, thank you. And as we learn more about these two investigations, we will post updates online. You'll find them in the 12 News app. To Ukraine at 10, and the capital city under attack right now by Russian forces.
ABC's Morgan Norwood reports Ukraine's president had another warning for his people tonight.
The battle for Ukraine's capital now turning critical, with concerns Russian troops could try to take Kyiv at any moment. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressing his people, warning that the night will be, quote, tough, and asking them to, quote, burn down the enemy's tanks and armor with whatever means. Ukrainian authorities have handed out 18,000 weapons to civilians, and men ages 18 to 60 are not allowed to leave the country. Instead, they're being ordered to stay and fight. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Ukraine.
Once again, air raid sirens are ringing out across the capital, Kyiv. Although there's been a lull in the fighting for the last couple of hours, the fears are that the Russians have been resupplying and are ready to mount a real attack inside the city. The UN says hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are now on the move. This family making a 30-hour trek to the Polish border.
I want to come back, but I don't know if we're going to come back.
And in Russia, worrying signs that an increasingly isolated President Vladimir Putin is pulling his country into full-blown dictatorship. Facebook is now restricted after the government tried to stop the company's fact-checking of state-owned media content. Late today, the White House announcing the U.S. is joining the European Union in sanctioning Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov. Meantime, the UN Security Council voting on the U.S. and Albania-led resolution to condemn Russia for invading Ukraine. But the resolution failed after Russia stood alone against the measure and vetoed it. The United Arab Emirates, India, and China all abstained.
History will judge us for our actions or lack thereof. But at a minimum, at the very minimum, the rest of us have an obligation to object.
The U.S. will now take the resolution to the UN General Assembly. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Around the world tonight, there is a show of solidarity for Ukraine in lights. The Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower, and London's Downing Street are all lit up in blue and yellow, the colors of Ukraine's flag.
So is Milwaukee's Hone Bridge. 12 News' Courtney Sisk on what the city's Ukrainian community wants you to know about their country.
With songs and prayer and a warm embrace in cold times, Milwaukee's mayor and the local Ukrainian community come together to stand in solidarity.
It's not going to do anything to Putin, but it's good for your soul.
Friday night, they lit the Hone Bridge in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukraine flag.
It'll be very nice to see that type of support.
Many at Friday night's gathering grew up in Ukraine and still have family and friends living there.
Disbelief. It is disbelief. It is disbelief that one person could cause so much trauma to a nation for no reason.
They say it's devastating to be 5,000 miles away and feel helpless.
In this moment, it's very hard for us time, and we feel bad. And we hope for American people, they can help us. They can even support us and think about that. It's not only a problem for Ukraine, it's a problem for all world.
If Putin takes Ukraine, he's going to take the democracy of the world. If he takes a sovereign country now, he's not going to stop.
Seeing the blue and yellow lights illuminate hope and gives them the local support they need.
Pray for us.
And that is their message tonight. They are asking for all of the prayers and support from the local community as they wait to see what the government will do next. Patrick?
Courtney Sisk reporting live near the Hone Bridge tonight. New tonight, an SUV crashed into a downtown Milwaukee gas station. You can see the vehicle sticking out of the window of the BP station at Plankinton and St. Paul this evening. No word yet from Milwaukee police about any injuries or why it happened. A standoff in Milwaukee ended peacefully this evening. Officers say they responded to 27th and Grange this afternoon for a man who they say made threats inside a business. Police tell 12 News the man had a gun and sat in his car. The man surrendered after about 3 hours.
COVID-19 cases are nosediving in Wisconsin. Today, the state reported 700 new confirmed COVID cases. The 7-day average dropped to its lowest level since July of last year. As COVID eases its grip, U.S. officials say most Americans can safely take a break from wearing masks. The Centers for Disease Control today outlined a new set of mask guidelines. They focus less on positive test results and more on what's happening at local hospitals. Based on that, the agency has come up with a map of threat levels. Only Kenosha and Racine counties in our area fall into the high-risk category. That means mask wearing in public places there is still recommended.
A historic nomination for the nation's highest court. Federal Appeals Court Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is the first black woman nominated to sit on the Supreme Court. President Joe Biden announced her nomination this afternoon.
I promised the process would be rigorous, that I would select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency.
I am truly humbled by the extraordinary honor of this nomination, and I am especially grateful for the care that you have taken in discharging your constitutional duty in service of our democracy.
Jackson currently serves on the D.C. Federal Court of Appeals. She has also served as a district judge and federal public defender. Jackson needs 51 votes in the Senate to replace her mentor, Justice Stephen Breyer. New at 10, we've learned an 89-year-old man died this morning while shoveling snow. It happened near Millbank and Manchester in Greendale. The medical examiner's office says this is the only weather-related death reported today. In our forecast, we're now getting a break from the snow.
Mark, a lot of it will melt this weekend.
Yeah, that late February sun is pretty strong. How warm we'll get this weekend next to Weather Watch 12.
Live right now at American Family Field, the annual Arctic tailgate for Brewers tickets, even as the season may be in jeopardy.
Hey there, I'm Diana Gutierrez. Monday on 12 News this morning, the scam that's hitting our wallets the hardest. We're going to tell you what it is and how to protect yourself. And the mask mandate in Milwaukee comes to an end, what it means for Milwaukee public schools. And of course, wake up knowing what to wear with Lindsay's forecast. We'll see you Monday starting at 4:30.